बोल तू बोल कॉलेज नहीं बोले बोल कॉलेज बोल बोल ने गशका मारने में क्या फोटो बता कॉलेज बताई दी ऑडिटोरियम मैंने कहीं पसंद कोनी खाने में बतावे ऑडिटोरियम बंद कर
ಬೇರೆಲ್ಲ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ ಅವ್ರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ
ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾತಾಡಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ ಅದು ಲಿಂಕ್ ವರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಇದರ ಲಾಗೌಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ಕೇಳಿಸರಿಯಾ ಹಾ ಕೇಳಿಸರಿಯಾ ಕೇಳಿಸರಿ
ವೈಫೈ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡಿ
ವೈಫೈ ಸರ್
ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಡ್ಮಿನ್ ಪಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ?
ಕೂತ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Yes.
Arise, awake, stop not until the goal is reached. And on this note, a very good morning to everyone present here on this August gathering for the celebrations of NSS Youth Week. I extend a very hearty welcome to our director, Dr. Dinesh Neelkant, School of Commerce Studies, Jayanti to be universities. A very hearty welcome to all the heads of various departments, coordinators, fellow colleagues, and my dear students. We've all gathered here this morning to celebrate the NSS Youth Week. I now request Professor Vernick to deliver the invocation song and request the dignitaries to light the lamp.
ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಹೊಸ ನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ಹೊಸ ನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಶಕ್ತಿಯು ಶಾಂತಿಯು ಸದ್ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ, ಯುಕ್ತಿಯು ಮುಕ್ತಿಯು ಸೌಹಾರ್ದದಲ್ಲಿ. ಶಕ್ತಿಯು ಶಾಂತಿಯು ಸದ್ಭಾವದಲ್ಲಿ, ಯುಕ್ತಿಯು ಮುಕ್ತಿಯು ಸೌಹಾರ್ದದಲ್ಲಿ. ನಡೆಯುತ್ತ ಮುಂದೆ ಸಾಗೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವಿಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ನಾವಿಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವಿಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ರವಿಚಂದ್ರರೊಂದೇ ನೆಲ ಜಲವು ಒಂದೇ, ಧರ್ಮಗಳೊಂದೇ ಛಲಬಲವು ಒಂದೇ. ರವಿಚಂದ್ರರೊಂದೇ ನೆಲ ಜಲವು ಒಂದೇ, ಧರ್ಮಗಳೊಂದೇ ಛಲಬಲವು ಒಂದೇ. ಛಲಬಲವು ಒಂದೇ, ಜೊತೆಯ ಈ ಹಾಡು ಹಾಡೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವಿಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದಾಗಿ ಬಾಳೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವಿಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ನಾವೆಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ, ನಾವೆಂದು ಹೊಸನಾಡ ಕಟ್ಟೋಣ ಬನ್ನಿ. ಲಾ 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 ಲಾ.
Thank you, sir, for the soulful rendition. My heartiest welcome to Mr. Rajesh Padmar, our guest speaker for today. Mr. Rajesh Padmar is a lecturer by profession in Bengaluru, based a social activist, media and social media enthusiast. Mr. Padmar is a lecturer in biology at the Government PU College, Rajaji Nagar, Bengaluru. Sir is an MSc postgraduate in Applied Zoology from Mangalore University, Bachelor of Education from RV Teachers College, Bengaluru, under Bangalore University. He is pursuing his PhD from Bangalore University in the area of biodiversity. He has published several articles, delivered several lectures at different platforms on several academic, intellectual, and socio-scientific issues. He serves as a trustee of socio-academic NGOs such as Disha Bharat, Samartha Bharata, Thinkers Forum, Namaste India, etc. in Bengaluru. A known TV channel panelist, appeared in several discussions in state and national news channels on social issues. He's an active social media player. His Twitter handle, Rajesh Padmar, is followed by Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. A very hearty welcome to you, sir. On behalf of Jayanti University, I now request you to deliver the address.
Good morning to everyone. On this auspicious occasion of National Youth Day, which was technically on January 12th, but throughout the nation we celebrate this National Youth Day. In any day of January, based on our convenience, that's what the central government, way back in 1985, declared National Youth Day as January 12th, and they have given the option to celebrate as Rashtriya Yuva Saptah. So in that context, we are here today to understand the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, how it can influence, how it can motivate, inspire us, the 21st century youth. Friends, we are all called millennials today. Millennials are a group of people who born after millennium. We born after 2000. We are fresh with ideas. We are new with new world order. We are the generation of new India. Coincidentally, this year happens to be 75th year of India's independence. What India was in 1947 is totally different what India is today. We changed ourselves in the field of education, healthcare, economy, sports, and everything. When I mention sports, we are here in this auspicious campus of this country, where this campus has provided jewels for the sports community. Maybe it is in swimming, Shikha Tandon, maybe Aditya Ashok of golf, or it could be Robin Uttap of cricket. It could be any other personality, including Pankaj Advani. It could be so many such people of Bengaluru who are here. And of course, institutions like this change the dimensions. I mean, what India was in 1947 is totally different today. Why? The youth of this nation at their time, it could be a few names which I mentioned, maybe Aditya Ashok or whoever, the youth of that nation, youth of that society transform our nation. Swami Vivekananda is an inspirer for the youth of this entire nation, entire community. When in 1985, Swami Vivekananda's name emerged as a youth icon, and he should be the youth icon for the entire nation, there was no second thought by anybody. Everybody unanimously passed that Swami Vivekananda should be the role model for India's youth. There is no second opinion at all. Of course, he is still standing tall. Why he is a role model? When I go to different schools and colleges, I hear from teachers, from parents, from relatives and everybody that the student should be studying for the sake of marks. Many a time you may be felt in your school days and in your PU days that you should study for the sake of marks. If you get good marks, you can fetch a good job. If you can get a good job, you can get a good salary. If the salary is good for you, then your life will be luxurious, comfortable, and that is what called success. You will be successful. That's what every mother, father, relatives, teachers trying to convey this message to the youth of this nation who are sitting in high schools, who are sitting in class 11 and 12 class. Get good marks, be happy in your life, earn good money. For such a youth, if success is defined in those terms, how Swami Vivekananda can be a role model? What was Vivekananda's job? What was his salary? What was the bank balance he maintained for his next generation? Did he have any family? wife and kids? No. So what we are looking today as success, that should be totally changed as his perspective. Success is not the one which is taken through luxurious path. Swami Vivekananda is a role model for you because he was a personality who enhanced India's spirit of sacrifice and renunciation. Even Swami Vivekananda himself told, what should be the message to the young generation? He told in a very simple way, live for others. If you live for others, if you think for others, that itself is a motto of life as per Bharatiya Dharma. We are thinking for others. Friends, we witnessed Corona badly in last 2 years. The world has suffered a lot. Because of this COVID pandemic, people lost job, economy has been suffered. We are students, we could not enter the campus. There are a lot of issues because of COVID. But what others or other countries face in the world, India could not face here because every Indian who are rich in their monetary or financial aspect, who is good at their studies, they thought of others. They supplied ration kits. Teachers came in online class modes. They taught. The tuitions has been increased. Online teachings. We thought of others first, not of ourselves alone. So if you think about others, and if you live for the society, there's ultimate message what Swami Vivekananda gave to the youth of this country. That's why his role as the youth icon is supreme. Friends, you may be studied of Swami Vivekananda in various classrooms, teachings and everything. I'll not go into the details of his childhood, his family life, his life yatra and everything. We know that he born in January 12, 1863. But few points to mention here. When he was at your age of 17, 18, he was a student. What then he did was, he was Narendra as a student. He did one of the fabulous job anybody today, if he or she is doing, it will be a warm welcome step. What Vivekananda or Narendra did at that time, he was analyzing the world's most debated issues of that time. On those days, it was evolutionary biology, which was discussed by many people. And the 10 most famous evolutionary biologists was Herbert Spencer, who was practicing and delivering lectures of Charles Darwin. Darwin, way back in 1859, came in the book called The Origin of Species, how the man can evolve. Human evolution is a matter of curiosity. Narendra, as a young student at 17, at your age, he contacted Herbert Spencer. He asked, can I translate your verse to Bengali? He did it. He came with a book by name The Education. Can we think of that kind of passion today in all youth? We are updated with digital communication today. We have email. We have got WhatsApp communications. We have different forums by which we can communicate. I am communicating you through a platform like Zoom. You can communicate to any personality, scientist of the world. Are we connected with any scientist of the world class? Are we connected with any world class thought leaders? If a Nobel Prize in economics comes, can we, as a student of the college, can we send a congratulatory email saying that I am from so and so college and I am congratulating you? That spirit of Narendra that he had made him a great personality, so that he reached Herbert Spencer in 1870s when there was no electricity in Ontario. That's why Narendra is very, very optimistic and very much enthusiastic in those days. Once he was in a class of his professor, William Hastie, who who was a professor from Ireland. The British schools in Calcutta, they were having lecturers from European countries so that the first generation should speak pure English. When Narendra was a student in the class, he asked a question which never asked to William Hastie, even in Ireland or in India. William Hastie was explaining a poem by name, The Excursion, by the then very famous nature's poet by name, William Wordsworth. In that poem called Excursion, there was a word called trance, Trance. So he was explaining the word trance to the students. Students were curious to know. William Hastie was saying, the word trance refers to, it is a state of being where a person cannot hear anything. The person cannot hear. He can't listen to anything what someone calls that person, he cannot hear. He cannot feel the sensation of touch also. If someone touches his body, the skin will be unaware. So that stage is called trance and people practice. Narendra asked, will that sthiti, will that status will really exist? Then William Hastie said, yes, it is existing. Go back from here to 3 to 4 kilometers. There is a place called Dakshineshwar. There is a person by name Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He practices. The state is in India called Samadhi. He went to Ramakrishna. He saw Ramakrishna practicing Samadhi. Narendra, then he was a college student. He realized that what the English education I'm having here sitting in a British classroom is nowhere useful for me. I will be a disciple, I will be a student or Shishya of Swami Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. He left that British education, he came to Ramakrishna and Ramakrishna became his guru. He realized that the Bharatiyata in education, the Indian way of education itself is supreme. Ramakrishna took Narendra as a Shishya. Unfortunately, one day, Vivekananda, or Narendra's father, Vishwanathan at the time, it was a rich family, well-fed family. All of a sudden, the family became poor. Even Mother Bhuvaneshwari Devi, she was never asked Narendra for the household matters, financial aspect. Even she was struggling. Narendra came to Ramakrishna and told Ramakrishna that my family is suffering an economic crunch. I need money. I need wealth. How can I compensate? How can I get it? Then Ramakrishna told Narendra, go and ask Kali Mata. She gives everything. Narendra went to Kali Mata thinking that I need wealth, and he was prepared to ask, I need wealth. And he was about to open his mind, give me wealth. That's what he wanted to ask. But from his mouth, give me wisdom. It was a word came out. He was surprised. He tried for the second time and he asked, give me wealth. It was the demand, but he asked again, give me wisdom. Third time it happened. He wanted to ask wealth. He asked wisdom. Then he realized the Ramakrishna who sent me here to ask wealth with Kali Mata, he is a special personality. He has inhuman capabilities. He is not an ordinary man. I should not ask for wealth. I should ask for wisdom, Viveka. That's what he told. That's what he asked. And then he decided not to ask anything for wealth in life. He decided to become a sannyasi. Friends, your age, an age of dreams, an age of getting financial resources from all around, an age which thinks that if I have money, if I got a handful salary, I will do this, I will do that, I will do that kind of thing and everything. Money is a source of thought process. At that age, Narendra did, or Narendra realized, I will not earn, I will not marry, I will work for this society. I'll become a parivrajak. Parivrajak means a wandering monk. A monk, a sannyasi, a Swamiji who roams from place to place. Not a fixed place to sit and work. He traveled, of course. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa passed away due to the throat cancer, and he left the monastery and he was traveling from place to place. He met students, he met women, fishermen, farmers, cobblers, he met king, purohits, the priests, religious leaders, downtrodden, socially marginalized, untouchables, touchables. He went within the social strata and realized how Indian society is framed. What are the parameters by which Indian society will be influential? He was meeting all people. He gained those experiences. One day, he came to a place called Khetri, which is in today's Rajasthan. Then the Rajasthan as a state was not formed. It was called Khetri Samsthan. Just like in Karnataka, we didn't have Karnataka at that time. It was called Mysore Samsthan. Khetri's Maharaja was Ajit Singh. Ajit Singh met this young sannyasi and was asking him so many questions. Young sannyasi was answering so many questions with utmost clarity. One day, after 3-4 days of conversation, right? One day, Ajit Singh called everybody in his Raj Darbar, in his palace, and he was about to make a declaration. He told, myself, Ajit Singh want to make a declaration. The young sannyasi who is in front of us, he has Vivek, an ocean of wisdom, is an ocean of knowledge. Also, he has the utmost goal what an education should have. In India, more you are educated, more you should be happy. Shikshanada Paramocha Guri Ananda Kari. You should be more happy when you are more educated. Of course, the reverse is happening in Indian society today because of so many consequences. We are more educated, we are more egoistic, more fighting for your salary, promotions and everything. But in India, as the thought process says, we are more educated, we should be more and more and more happy. It's called Ananda in Indian context. There are levels of Ananda. Brahmanand, Paramanand, Sachidanand, Purnanand. Ananda is a very important thought process in Indian philosophy. So Ajit Singh said, this man has Viveka and this man has Ananda. I call this man henceforth, today onwards, as Viveka plus Ananda. He will be Vivekananda. Since he is a sannyasi, he should be added with the prefix called Swami Vivekananda. With a new name, he comes to South, he came to Belagavi, he came to Bengaluru, he went to Kerala. Then in 1893, he went to Chicago for World Parliament of Religions. He traveled across 2 continents, America and Europe. In 1897, he came back to India. A journey from Colombo he took and he went up to Almora of Uttarakhand. Ramakrishna Mission published his speeches as a summarized booklet called Lectures from Colombo to Almora. In 1900, he went back to Europe. His lecture in Paris was world famous as the lecture for youth. That's why his birthday is commemorated as National Youth Day. In his first speech in 1893, it was more on brotherhood. You may be heard of his world-level speech, my dear sisters and brothers of America. It was more of brotherhood. The second visit was more on youth potentials. He returns to India in 1902 when he was 39. He passed away on July 4. At a young age of 39, he passed away. But still, he continued to remain as a center of motivation for many across the generation. We are celebrating 159th birth anniversary year of Swami Vivekananda. Still, we remember his ideals for next 3, 4, 5 centuries. He gave a new vision for India. He was often called patriot of patriots. After his death, he was continued to inspire millions of people, especially the freedom fighters, especially those leadership which was taking India's freedom movement. One day, a student in Madras asked Swami Vivekananda after his speech, Swamiji, you know English. You can communicate with British. You can talk, discuss, debate with them. They listen to you. Our country is in slavery. British are ruling us. Why can't you take the leadership for freedom movement? Our country is in slavery. Then Swamiji told, do you want freedom? I will get you the freedom by dawn. Tomorrow morning, I will get you the freedom. But where are the men to digest it? If you get the freedom, you are a society still fighting each other for language, for geographical barriers, touchability and untouchability, rich and poor. You are still fighting each other. We will get freedom only when the society is united. As a nation, we are united. Till then, if at all you get freedom, it is no worth. That's why first go and make the society united. That is the necessity here. I will get you the freedom. Give me 100 youth. A youth who should have nerves of steel, muscles of iron, and willpower like thunder. If such 100 youth I can get, I will change the destiny of this nation, Vivekananda. He could not get such 100 youth. He told that young man, look, this is the difficulty that we are facing today. We need this courageous youth. They should be ready for such a sacrifice. Until and unless we get such youth who think of others, who can work for the society, who want to transform this nation, we cannot get justice if at all you achieve freedom. That's why the first thing is social transformation. Vivekananda's message was heard by many people across India. Everybody thought freedom movement is the ultimate aim. But everybody realized we need to integrate the society, we need to transform the society, we need to reform. Bhagini Nivedita came, she was making Indian schools in Calcutta. Nivedita, she was a lady from Europe, her earlier name was Margaret Nobel. She realized that British are starting British schools. When British came to India, it was a larger India. There was no Pakistan, no Bangladesh, no Nepal, no Sri Lanka, no Burma, no Afghan. It was a big, large India. And Britishers were very small in their number. They wanted to train Indians to become British officers. That's why they started schools in Calcutta. They know that for next 200, 300 years, we will live here. They established colonies, they established their own prayer halls and everything. Looking at that, Bhagini Nivedita realized we need Indianized education. That's why we are starting to Indian school. She started. Many supported. Sir Jagdish Chandra Bose, Chittaranjan Das, Bhupendranath Datta. They helped that movement in Bengal. Subramanyam Bharati in Tamil Nadu. Kutmal Rangarai in Karnataka. Karnataka Sadashiva Rai. There is a place in Bangalore called Sadashiva Nagar. That Sadashiva Rai. He was the pioneer personality. Mahatma Phule in Maharashtra, Savitribai Phule in Maharashtra, Lokmanya Tilak, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, Pandit Madan Mohan Malaviya, who started Banaras Hindu University in Uttar Pradesh. Many people realize social transformation is a necessity. Freedom movement and social reforms, they went together after Vivekananda's message. That's why the India was making itself strong and strong day by day after Vivekananda's inspiring lecture. Meanwhile, Indians realized what Vivekananda was saying. He was uniting India. Friends, in 1905, after the death of Swami Vivekananda, after 3 years, British officers, especially Lord Curzon, divided Bengal. He divided Bengal into a place based on religious beliefs. A place for Hindus, where Kalighat, Kolkata was the center. A place for Muslims, where Dhaka was the center. But Indians opposed. Should not divide our country based on religions. We are one. We may worship different God, but we are one. Don't divide us. Every Indian started agitation against dividing Bengal. That agitation went up to 6 years for the unity of Bengal. Entire Bengal was united. The fight went in Madhya Pradesh, Delhi, Kashmir, Tirunelveli, including Bengaluru, Lahore, Andaman, even in London. Across world, wherever there is an Indian, he opposed the Britishers' conspiracy of divide and rule. Don't divide us based on religion. In 1911, that divided Bengal got united. Britishers lost. They failed with their conspiracy. Then the British officers, they came with a discussion meeting. They wanted to know why we failed. We wanted to divide India based on religion. Then how this happened? How Bengal united after 6 years of continuous agitation? A person by the name Charles Taggart, he was a British officer. He was made in charge of the inquiry commission. Charles Taggart came with the report and it was submitted to British government. In that report, of course, a big report, the summary was a single line. Across India, the people are united. For Bengal or Delhi, for anything, we are united or India will be united because the Indians are united on thoughts of Swami Vivekananda. Vivekananda was no more. But his thoughts were still living. They were still in the minds of those people. They were in the heart of Indians. Then, if any Britishers were catching hold of a Krantikari, a revolutionary, they used to find Vivekananda's book in their Jhola. An Ahimsavadi, who is a orator, who used to address a large gathering, he used to quote Swami Vivekananda here and there. A poet, an author, a writer, when he used to pen an article, a poem, he used to quote Vivekananda's thoughts in it. A social reformer, if he is starting a new initiative to reform the society, he used to mention Vivekananda's message. So throughout India, whether it's a revolutionary, whether it's a Ahimsavadi, whether it is a poet, writer, anybody, they are all equally inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Yesterday, the nation celebrated Parakram Divas, remembering 150th birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash, when he was just 9-year-old boy, he was listening the lecture of Swami Vivekananda in radio. I don't know whether you listen to radio or not, but radio was, once it was a favorite digital device. Subhash became Netaji after hearing Vivekananda's messages. He used to go, ideas and ideals will never perish. It was Vivekananda which gave him the spirit of confidence. He united people out of India, Netaji, because Vivekananda gave all this confidence through his teaching and words. That's why Netaji used to say, who is Vivekananda? A one-line definition of Vivekananda Netaji used to give. Vivekananda is maker of modern India. Nava Bharatada Nirmarth Swami Vivekananda. For Gandhiji was in Africa. When he came back to India, he was 46. He came to India in 1915, January 9. We celebrated it as Pravasi Bharati. Then there was no tall leader as a single point of contact for the freedom movement. In 1920, Lokmanya Tilak died. In 1921, Mahatma Gandhiji took the leadership of Congress. After the national convention in Kolkata, he visited Belur Mutt, where Vivekananda's samadhi is kept. In front of his samadhi, after visiting, in the visitor's diary, Mahatma Gandhiji wrote a very beautiful quote, a sentence. He said, I was in Africa. I went thoroughly through the teachings and thoughts of Swami Vivekananda. After I read him, my respect for this nation increased 1,000-fold. That's what Gandhiji mentioned. Why it happened? In 1913, Rabindranath Tagore was declared with the Nobel Prize for Literature. Initially, there were so many discussions whether to receive, accept or not, and finally he went to receive Nobel. In the ceremony, he met a French scholar by name Romain Rolland. Romain Rolland asked a question with Tagore. I heard that India is an illiterate country. It is a poor country. You are lacking education, healthcare, and everything. But you are coming for Nobel for literature. So I should study real India. How can I study real India? I want to study India. Mr. Tagore, tell me. Then Tagore told Romain Rolland with a simple note. If the same question is asked to you and me, what we would have been told? That if you want to study India, go and search in Google, or I'll send you a link of Wikipedia or something. That's what we will tell. But Tagore was so clever and he was a scholar. Rabindranath Tagore told, if you want to study India, study Vivekananda. In him, everything is positive and nothing is negative. In Vivekananda's teaching about India, you can get only positive things. What British were saying was everything is negative. India is downtrodden, illiterate, poor, this, that, and everything. Vivekananda told, you are not poor, you are Amritasya Putra. We are having traditional knowledge and its epitome. We were aggressor, top leaders in the knowledge. We had universities like Nalanda, Takshashila, Varanasi, Ujjaini, Kanchi. We were champions of education. Veda, Ayurveda, Dharma, Darshana, Shastra, Yoga. Everywhere if you go, Indians were supreme in their field. But only, unfortunately, the young generation is not aware of so many things. We are aware of foreign scientists. We are not aware of Rishi Kanada, who is an atomic chemist of India. We don't know Parashara was the first person to explain cell. We give the credit to someone else. Aryabhata, Bhaskaracharya, Varahamihira, Bodhayana, Charaka, Sushruta. If you take India, all are champions of knowledge in different fields. So Tagore told, if you want to study India, study Vivekananda. It was a message given by Tagore to Romain Rolland, but it was heard by Mahatma Gandhiji in South Africa. He read Vivekananda. He changed himself. After coming to India, he totally changed himself. He dedicated his entire life for the sake of freedom movement. He gave up his profession. Was a top lawyer. He gave up earning. He gave up his foreign clothes. When he was in Africa, he was in suit, coat and all. You have seen young photo of Gandhi. But in India, he sacrificed everything for the sake of Nalvadi Krishnaraj Vade. He was a great personality inspired by Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda used to write letter whoever helped him for his foreign travel. In 1893, Chicago World Parliament of Religion for his journey, Mysore Maharaja Chamarajendra Vade helped. He wrote a letter to Maharaja. It came to Mysore Palace in 1894. But then Chamarajendra Vade passed. The letter was received by a 10-year-old boy by name Nalvadi Krishnaraj Vade. The letter is still there in the wall of Mysore. So in that letter, after thanking lacking. There was a last sentence by Swami Vivekananda. It says, they alone lives, who lives for others. The rest are dead than alive. The 10-year-old boy thought, today I am a Yuvaraja. Tomorrow I will be Maharaja. I should work for the sake of the society, not for myself. What he did, he asked his helpers to come with a survey. Many people, they came with a survey report. Wherever we are lacking, we lack in education, we lack in economy, we lack in industrialization. Then Maharaja told, we want to cultivate or want to start some institution. To improve education, he started schools. He started colleges like Maharaja and Maharani College. Today the VTU is standing. Earlier it was, the first college was started by Maharaja. He started soap factories. Mysore sandal soap. He started many sugar factories. To improve agriculture, he built KRS dam. There was no money. Even the Maharani, she from a very rich royal family, she totally donated all her ornaments for the sake of constructing that KRS dam. Today, we Bengaluru people, we should be thankful those sacrifices on those days. Maharaja of Mysore, Nalwadi Krishnaraja Vadayar, when he died in 1940, one of the economic daily rights, he was the richest king under sun. When a king is rich, it means kingdom was rich. So Nalwadi Krishnaraja Vadayar thought, I should work for the society, and he worked. Friends, likewise I can give you hundreds of examples. Many people, they were influenced by Swami Vivekananda's thoughts. All soldiers today, majority of the army veterans today, majority of the political leaders today, majority of the scientists today. Maybe you walk into ISRO, you walk into Indian Institute of Science. If you go to any particular lab where a person is working very hard in his field, he will be inspired by Swami Vivekananda. It could be APJ Abdul Kalam. It could be Arunima Sinha, who lost her limbs and he climbed Mount Everest. It could be Ravindra Jadeja, who lost his mother. He's from a very poor family. The father is a security guard. Still, he was a champion in all three formats of cricket. It could be Nikola Tesla, who was a pioneer in the field of alternative current. Way back when Swamiji was in America, Nikola Tesla was finding it difficult to understand the relation between mass and energy. It was not defined well then. Vivekananda's thoughts gave a new dimension. Likewise, throughout the nation, in and out, Vivekananda inspired thousands of people. That's why he was called Patriot of Patriots. Friends, we all use. Today also, we need to understand the ideals and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. Whenever you get time, read it. Go to Ramakrishna Ashrama, purchase some books there. It is available. It is available digitally online also. Hundreds of such lecture series are available. Even our organization is doing a lecture series each day evening at 6 o'clock on Swami Vivekananda. So inspired by those thoughts. He is not a sannyasi like others. He inspired industrialists, teachers, school people, educationists, even the sports personalities, officers, administrators, everybody. He is a youth icon who is needed for India's youth generation for a very long time. I thank you for your patience listening, and I thank the entire chain groups for making the Swami Vivekananda celebration. Though we are suffered with COVID-related restrictions, digitally we could communicate and say a few words on Swami Vivekananda. Namaskar.
Thank you so much, sir, for your valuable words of wisdom. I'm sure the audience will take these words back and appreciate whatever you have. Thank you once again, sir. I now request Dr. Srinivas Iyer, sir, to speak a few words.
ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಜೈನ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಮರ್ಥ ಭಾರತ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ವತಿಯಿಂದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಯೂತ್ ವೀಕ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಜೇಶ್ ಪದ್ಮಾರ್ ಅವರು ಇಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನು ಹಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರೇ ಶಬ್ದನೇನೆ ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣ ಭಾರತವನ್ನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದೇ ಹಸಿದ ಮನಸ್ಸನ್ನ ಎಚ್ಚರಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕೆಲಸವನ್ನ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರನ್ನ ಓದಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆಗಳನ್ನ ನಾವು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಒಂದ್ ವೇಳೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥವಾಗಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರು ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರನ್ನ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಓದಿರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಮಾರ್ಗದರ್ಶನದಿಂದ, ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳಿಂದ ಪ್ರಭಾವಿತರಾದ ಅದೆಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕವಿ ಕುವೆಂಪುರವರು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಠದ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಯಾರಾದರೂ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೆ ಆದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕುವೆಂಪು ಅವರೇ ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಬುಕ್ ಇದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಸರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗೆ ಕೊಲಂಬೋ ಟು ಅಲ್ಮೋರಾ ಆ ಬುಕ್ ಅನ್ನ at least whenever you have a time just read at least these two books to get a little bit knowledge about India and Indian culture. ಯಾಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ವರ್ಗವರ್ಣ ರಹಿತ ಸಮಾಜದ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣದ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಮಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರು ಕಂಡಿದ್ರು. ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ಈ ವರ್ಗರಹಿತ ಸಮಾಜ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಲಿಕ್ಕಾಗದಿಲ್ವೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಆ ಒಂದು ಮನುಜ ಮತವನ್ನಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ವಿಶ್ವಪಥವನ್ನಾಗ್ಬೋದು ಗುರುಸೋದಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರನ್ನ ಓದಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರಿಂದ ಈ ನಾಡಿಗಾಗಿ, ಈ ದೇಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಈ ವಿಶ್ವಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಿಮ್ಮದೇ ಆದ ಕೊಡುಗೆಯನ್ನ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವಾದ್ರೂ ಪ್ರಯತ್ನಿಸ್ತೀರಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಇವತ್ತು ನಮ್ಮ ಕರೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಈ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಾಲಿಡೇಟರಿ ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಅವರ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಿದಂತ ಶ್ರೀ ರಾಜೇಶ್ ಪದ್ಮಾರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಿರುಕಾಣಿಕೆಯನ್ನ ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ NSS ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಾಧಿಕಾರಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ಮಹೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅವರನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾರ್ಥಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ತಿಳಿದಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಜೈನ್ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪಕರಾದಂತ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ R. ಜೈನ್ ಅವರು ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದ ಅವರಿಂದಲೇ ಪ್ರಭಾವಿತರಾದವರು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ವಿವೇಕಾನಂದರ ಜಯಂತಿಯನ್ನು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಷಗಳಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಠದ ಜೊತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶೇಷ ಸಂಪರ್ಕ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಹಿಂದೆ ರಾಮಕೃಷ್ಣ ಮಠದ ಸಂಪರ್ಕವನ್ನು ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿದಂತ ದಿವಂಗತ ವಿ.ಟಿ. ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಅವರನ್ನ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮರಿಸಬೇಕು. ವಿ.ಟಿ. ವೆಂಕಟೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಇದ್ದಾಗಂತೂ ಒಂದು ವಾರಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಒಂದು ಉತ್ಸವ ತರ ನಮ್ಮಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ನಡೀತಾ ಇತ್ತು. ಕೋವಿಡ್ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದಾಗಿ ಈಗ ಬರೀ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತ್ರ ಈ ಸರಿ ಒಂದು 12ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಗೆಸ್ಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ಕಿತ್ತು. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಬಂಧ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕ್ವಿಜ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಸ್ಸೆ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಂದಲೇ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಗಳನ್ನು ಇವರು ಏರ್ಪಡಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ 7 ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇವತ್ತಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಬಹಳ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾಗಿ ಮೂಡಿಬಂದಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಶ್ರೀನಿವಾಸ್ ಅವರು, ಮಹೇಶ್ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ವೈನಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಾಜ್ಕುಮಾರ್ ಅವರಿಗೆ ನಾನು ಅಭಿನಂದನೆಗಳನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮನ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ನಡೆಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟಂತ ನಮ್ಮ ವಂದನಾ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ, ಈ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ವಂದಿಸ್ತಾ ನನ್ನ ಮಾತುಗಳನ್ನ ಮುಗಿಸ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
On behalf of Jayanti University, my heartfelt gratitude to our guest speaker, Mr. Rajesh Padmar, for taking time out from your busy schedule, sir, and being with us here today. It was truly inspiring to hear your thoughtful words of wisdom. I also thank the organizers of this program for putting up such a great show. Thank you, participants, for your patient listening. Have a nice day. Thank you very much. I request everybody to turn on your videos for a group photograph. Participants, please note, requesting all of you to turn on your videos for a group photograph. I repeat, audience, please turn on your videos for a group photograph. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful day.